Hi, this is Dr. Will of the Live Free online addiction recovery training. And this is it. This is the weekend many people wait for. It's Super Bowl weekend. And so a lot of people in recovery, especially early recovery, have some issues about how are they going to be able to go to a Super Bowl party and not drink or not use. Well, that's a very common issue. And there's some ways and there's some things we can do. First, we're going to tell you some ways to get ready for it. And then we're going to give you some techniques and tips for you to be more successful. Well, number one, the Super Bowl party is probably one of the biggest party times of the year. It's up there with some of the holiday season activities, New Year's Eve, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, all of these kind of activities. But the Super Bowl party places special emphasis here in the United States. But the first thing you have to realize is you need to be prepared. Be prepared. That you can never overcome preparation to be successful. You know, you have to be prepared. You have to expect that people are going to offer you drugs or alcohol, depending on the group that you run with. So first of all, gear up for it. Get prepared. Mentally picture yourself going into the situation and saying, no, thank you. So the easiest way to begin to be prepared is, first of all, realize that the rest of the world does not change just because we've decided to change. You know, if you have a lot of people in your friends or family that drink, just because you quit doesn't mean they're going to quit. In fact, it really has no effect on them at all. So what you want to do is get prepared. Realize that it's going to happen. Secondly, don't take it personal when someone offers you a drink. It's just kind of a natural, normal thing if you're in that society. Oh, would you like a drink? Right? But then what begins to happen is we begin to think that they're placing more emphasis on us not drinking than we are, that they're going to wonder why. That's why the first response is always just, no, thank you. And you'll be surprised how often that works. But getting ready is the key. So what you want to do is begin to think as you're going to a Super Bowl party, as you're prepping to go, you say several times in your mind, I easily and effortlessly say no thank you to others and myself. I easily and effortlessly say no thank you to others and myself. I easily, effortlessly say no thank you to others and myself. So you repeat that several times. That begins to reprogram that part of your subconscious mind where you can do that. You know, I easily stay sober by saying no thank you. I easily stay sober by saying no thank you. Good. Good. So once you begin to do this, it begins to strengthen you. And again, if you're imagining in your mind's eye, like going into that party, there's the pizza, there's the dip, there's the chip, there's the coolers, maybe with beer and wine and alcohol. Maybe some people are, might be outside smoking a joint, and you're walking in thinking, I easily and effortlessly say no thank you to myself and others. Well, you can picture yourself saying that in that situation. That's number one, be prepared. Number two, expect it. Know that people may offer you a drink or a drug if you're in that group. And three, don't take it personal. Those are the preparation steps as you walk in. And again, realize that the world doesn't change just because we do. Now, here's a few techniques and tips. Number one, don't mind read. When you're going into this situation and you're going to say no thank you, don't mind read that they're going to place more emphasis on it than you are. Sometimes just say no thank you. That really works. No, thank you. I don't drink. If you really want to have some fun, you say, no, thank you. That's not who I am anymore, right? But when you're just saying no, thank you in a social situation, you're really trying to stop the behavior and move on. If you start opening it up and starting to have a discussion, that's not where you want to be. So the easiest, again, is just no, thank you. Secondly, you could say no, thank you, and then change the subject. At a Super Bowl party, it's pretty easy. No, thank you. Who do you think's going to win tonight? Or no, thank you. How do you think the game is going if the game's going on? So it starts to change the subject, right? You could even say, no, thank you. Have you ever noticed that the people who drink the most aren't the real football fans? And by the way, that's true. If you're really into the game, you're watching the game. But the easiest is just, no, thank you, change the subject. No, thank you, Jim. By the way, how's your wife and kids? And that changes the subject. It changes it in their mind. They'll take the no thank you, and then they're going to change the subject. It's really easy and moves you on. Number two would be carry a drink around with you. Have your glass, your bottle of soda, whatever it is that you're drinking, and have it with you at all times. So when they say, "Hey, would you like a beer? Would you want a drink?" "No, I'm good." And you can show them your glass or your can of soda. And that will 90% of the time pass the test, and people just move on. "No, thank you, I'm good." And you have your drink. Another technique and tip with that is, if you're at a party like that and you have your, say, a glass of soda or punch, but non-alcohol punch, and you have it with you, if you ever set it down, you do not pick it back up if you've like walked away and you come back, right? And again, those of us can remember when if you were a party person, how you think it's funny to spike someone's drink, how you think it's cute, or, oh, they won't mind, and they do that. So, if you set your drink down, get a fresh drink. The easiest is never let it out of your hand or out of your sight, so it's always there. That way you're controlling the environment. We always talk about controlling our environment. That's the number one way. The number two way is have an escape plan. Okay? If you start to feel uncomfortable, if you say, "No, thank you," "How's your wife and kids?" "No, thank you." "Who do you think's going to win?" If you start to feel uncomfortable, in this day and age, it's easier than ever. Here's another technique and tip. You could say, have your phone with you, and when you say "No, thank you," you can say, "Excuse me, I have to take this call." Right? You can say, "No, thank you, I have to take this call," and you can move on. That's a big one. So keep your drink with you. Never let it get out of your sight, so no one can spike it intentionally or unintentionally. Just say "No, thank you." Change the subject. Move on. And again, I will emphasize again, "No, thank you." And if you can ask the person offering you the drink something personal, something about their personal life, "No, thank you. Joe, how's that rebuild on that car that you're working on going?" Starts them in another direction, changes the subject. Also, another tip, of course, is have an escape plan. And of course, this day and age, if you have your cell phone with you, make sure you have your cell phone with you. You can always go, "Oh, I have to get that." And you can act like it's vibrating or doing whatever and do that. Another thing you can say is, "No, thank you. I have to do something after this. I have to take care of my kids. I have to get ready for a big thing tomorrow at work." You can always just do something light like that. And lastly, always keep reassuring yourself that it's your choice, that it's you saying "No, thank you." And again, in the back of your mind, have some empathy and some openness, because they're just making a social statement when they say, "Hey, would you like a drink?" They may not be putting anything more into it. So thank you.